If you're a basketball player looking to improve your game, watch this video because I'm going to share some things with you from the game of Jordan Poole that will help improve your offensive play. So we're looking at a couple of clips from the Lakers game the other night, and in each of these clips, what I have is a lesson for each clip. So for each one clip, you're going to have one thing, one takeaway that will improve your IQ. And then if you can just take one thing from each clip, I've got 7 or 8 clips, you add those things into your game, you're going to see improvement. So this first one is we're talking about picking your spots and avoiding bad ones or driving where there is no help. So players, do you know where you're supposed to attack on the floor? Do you know your strong places to drive or the areas of the floor that you're supposed to attack? Do you know within your offense, what is your offense looking for you to attack or your teammates to attack? For this clip right here, it's a transition ball screen. So James Wiseman is running in transition. He first sets this inside screen, then he's going to twist. I'll describe that in a second, and set another screen. But the interesting thing is that Jordan Poole, when he gets this initial screen, he does not attack downhill. He does not attack the paint originally with a left-hand drive right here. Do you know why? I'm going to give you 2 seconds to think about it. But do you know why this would be a bad decision to drive to his left and try to attack through this ball screen? And why going to the right side of the floor would be better? Think about it. Or pause this video and think about it. But the answer is, if he were to drive to his left, he would be driving into 1, 2, 3, 4 help defenders, and it was a bad screen. So really it's 5 defenders because the on-ball defender is still ready. So the lesson here is players, you don't want to drive into help. Instead, there are situations where you can wait for the offense to continue, and now he's going to decide to drive to his right, and this is a much better decision because 1, you get a better screen, but 2, by driving to his right and getting to the right side of the floor, there is no help defense on this side of the floor. And players, when you're driving, if you have the choice to drive into help or drive into space, you always want to drive into space because it's going to make your game and your reads easier. So he drives to his right, and then the read from here is very simple. If the Big's defender steps up to stop the ball, you have a drop-off pass or a lob, but because the Big's defender never really steps up or commits to the ball, then he has that little pull-up floater right there. And then the twist screen that I said I was going to mention is a really good screen where you set an initial screen. The ball handle usually takes 1 or 2 dribbles off that initial screen, and then what the screener's going to do is twist or turn around or return to the ball, and they're going to set another screen. So you have the first screen, Wiseman twists, he turns around, then he follows the ball and sets another screen. So this is a very effective screen that a lot of NBA offenses use. This is also a screen I have on my training platform. It's linked below. But here's a diagram that I'm talking about, and I've coached high school and college, and this is a common situation where a player, this may be you may have the ball up top, whether you got it off of a kick out, you got it off of an offensive rebound or ball screen, whatever, a transition, and you're faced with the choice where you can drive to your right and drive onto the side of the floor that has 6, 7 players on it, or you can drive to the left where it just has 1 help defender and 1 offensive player. I've seen so many times players just out of habit, especially right-handed players, they drive right into the help. There's no space. There's no actions, there's no easy reads to do, and so this would be the wrong side of the floor that you want to drive on. Instead, in a situation like this, there's more space on the left side of the floor, there's less defense. Now, if the 1 drives to the left and X5 commits and slides over to stop 1 to be the help defense, then it's an easy kick out. If 1's able to beat their defender and X5 drives out or slides out to 5 to the corner, then it's a wide open drive to the rim. So players, the lesson here is you want to be able to pick your spots and drive into space. Drive where there's no help. Don't drive into help. Now, this clip right here, this could be how you get 6 more points per game, 4 more points per game. Maybe you average 8 points a game, and if you do this, you can get up to 12 or 14 points a game. It's very simple. I'm going to show you a move, and then I'm going to show you why this worked. So the first thing is the move. So, and this isn't necessarily how you're going to get more points. This is the next thing I'm going to mention. But this move right here is a jab. So the keys to the jab is you want to bring the basketball from one side of your body, typically from your shoulder, and you want to bring it from high to low. So right here, he's bringing the ball from his shoulder down to kind of his right hip. So you want to bring the basketball from high to low, and you also want to bring your body from high to low. So you may be in a normal triple threat or catching the ball in transition, and then as you go into that jab, you want to be able to bring your shoulders and your waist down, and you go down into that stance, and then the defense will hopefully jump. Obviously, you don't want it to be a travel, and this is actually a travel right here. If you watch his left foot, his pivot foot, he drags it right there, and that's actually a travel. But the other key, and this is very important because players, you work hard on your jabs, and you're getting good at it, but you don't take the right driving angle. After you jab, and that defense jumps, you want to get straight downhill to the rim. What would be bad right here is imagine Jordan Poole, he made this jab and got an advantage. Imagine he's trying to drive to the rim, but instead of taking this first step like right inside the elbow, imagine that first step went directly towards the top of the half circle right here, and then he went downhill. That would be a long way to get to the rim. It would allow the defense to slide under. So after you make that jab, you want to get straight downhill, and then you want to make contact with your defender and cut them off from getting in front of you. But how beyond the jab you can steal points is this is a transition possession, and players, when you sprint ahead in transition, hopefully you get easy baskets, but there's also going to be times where you're in transition, and even though your defender is on you, there's going to be no help defense. So right here, even though Anthony Davis rotates over, you have 1, 2, 3, 4 help defenders who they may be able to slide in and help, but they're really not 100% committed in a stance ready to defend. So there may be 1 or 2 possessions a half, 3 to 4 possessions a game, where if you just sprint ahead and attack the rim hard when the help defense is not ready, that may help you get 6 more points a game, 8 more points a game, 4 more points a game. Now, this one here is simple shooting footwork, and this is just called the hop shot. So this is a ball screen, obviously, but watch his feet. So as he's going to gather for his shot, you can see in this little gap right here his feet. He's going to land on both feet at the same time. He's not going to go left foot right. He's not going to go right left. He's going to go hop, jump, hop, footwork. He's going to jump on both feet at the same time and then go into a shot. So when y'all are working on your shooting, you want to get at least 100 of these a workout, where you're doing a hop, footwork, jump shot, at least 100 of those per workout. And then the other thing is, I know most of you are definitely not shooting from this far out, but you are still working on your range. Notice how low his body is and how his quads are parallel to the ground. The top half of his legs are parallel to the ground. He's super low. So when you're working on your range and you need to record your shot with your iPhone or some video camera or something, when you're working on your own range, you need to, when you're shooting deep shots, you need to evaluate, are you getting this low on your shot? Because if you're not going to be able to generate enough power. That's very, very important with shooting. This was part 1 of a Jordan Poole film study. If you'd like to see parts 1 and 2 combined, the full film study, you can get them for free on my training platform. The instructions are in the description below, and you want to go ahead and make a free account on my training platform, because what you can see right here is a lot of the content that you get for free. There's no card required when you create an account. You get 18 free workouts, shooting drills, ball handling drills, scoring drills, and a lot more. So if you're looking to improve your game, you really have nothing to lose. It's not going to secretly charge you or anything. You can go make a free account and see what's on there. But hopefully you enjoyed this video. Let's keep getting better.